Getting back to the point here, though. So the difference between control and frame. Okay. So frame is the world into which frame is something you build through money, muscles, and game. I don't care what the popular concept is. Some people want to say frame is some sort of like something apart from that. Your frame is built by money, muscles, and game. Frame is, there's a lot of aspects to frame. I've probably written more about frame than any other thing that I've ever written about, even more than, hypergamy and stuff, oddly enough. Because everybody wants to know if they have frame. Was I in my frame? Was it out of my frame? I lost frame, Rolo. Oh, how do I get my girlfriend back? I lost frame. Like and people agonize over that. So that's why they're obsessed with understanding what frame is. Frame is just the world in which like you have authority within that world, right? So the guy who's sort of this dirtbag loser who lives in his mom's basement, he doesn't have much frame, right? Because he doesn't have a world that anybody wants to participate in. If you look at, like, say, let's just use an extreme example, Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate's frame is bulletproof because he has this, I don't know how legit it is, but like he certainly has this world into which people want to enter, and not just women, but men want to enter into it as well, right? When you are in here's another great example is children. Children understand frame like innately, because they depend on their parents for their survival. They depend on mom and dad for toilet paper, lights being on, and food on the table, and oxygen and water and everything else. So they are, until they get to the point of self-sufficiency, they are in the frame of their parents. Same thing applies to your employer, as I was like making an example of here in cardinal rule of relationships. In any relationship, the one with the most power is the one who needs the other the least. I'm going to show you the rest of Dr. Taraban's thing and explain to you why I disagree with everything else that he's had to say here. And this is why you guys wonder why I lose my fucking mind when I listen to like Sadia Khan like rip me off wholesale and then just butcher it and just mumble out the words. War brides, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And then if I say something, they'll go, Rollo, geez, those red pill guys, XYZ. Well, those red pill guys that you're lifting their material from, yeah, I think they know what they're talking about and you don't. You're a fucking product. I'm not saying that about Taraban, but certainly Sadia. You don't know what you're saying. In fact, your delivery is not even that good. So please sit down. Go over there. Go sit in the corner. Why? Like, please, before you even put yourself out there, at least do the work. Do the work. But as far as frame is concerned, the difference between control and frame is like control can exist in frame, but it doesn't necessarily have to. So there's people who have frame and they don't realize that they do, and so therefore are they more apt to use control within that frame? Probably not. You say, well, that's weird, Rolla. How does that happen? Well, if you've got a very rich individual, a very rich man, say he owns, I don't know, an exotic car company, and he is trying to sort of reintegrate himself back into the sexual marketplace. He has frame. He's got a lot of money. He's worth millions, but he doesn't understand intersexual dynamics. Does he have frame? Yeah, he has a world into which women want to enter into. Does he have control? No. Because he doesn't know enough about women's nature or his own nature to really exercise a control that his frame would grant him were he to understand his own nature and intersexual dynamics, be red pill aware, etc., blah, 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 right? So control is an exercise, whereas frame is sort of like this global atmospheric kind of state, right? So you can have frame and no control. Let's say, well, how do you do that? Well, frame, that's why we call it frame control, right? So you have to exercise control from within frame. And the way you do that is you give yourself permission to actually use it. You think enough about yourself to want to use it. That's why you know how you use it? Mental point of origin. Making yourself your own, the first thought that comes into your head when you're making a decision. You want to know how to go from like sort of zero to hero. It all starts with mental point of origin, making yourself the first thing that comes to your mind when you have to make a decision. Now, it's more than that, but that's the starting point. And this is true pretty much of any, you can apply this to any guru who's not like, if this isn't the basis of their guruism, Anyone who says that you can do this, reach down deep into your soul and find that inner confidence, that means fuck all if you don't give yourself permission to use your authority. If you don't give yourself permission to be someone else, if you don't give yourself permission to change your mind about yourself. I get this constantly from guys. Guys go, well, how do all of my friends and all of my family think I'm a poser. Here's the pen again. I'm trying to be something I'm not. Yes, you need to be authentic, right? Well, that authenticity is usually what they want you to maintain because it makes you predictable. People don't want you to change because it makes you unpredictable. Well, I don't know what I'm getting from the guy now. He's really kind of become an asshole now that he come back from deployment, now that he won the lottery, now that his father died, now that some trauma happened to him. He broke up with his wife or he got a divorce or whatever. Now he's a different individual as a result of these circumstances. They can wrap their heads around that. You know what they can't wrap their heads around? You deciding to do it yourself. You deciding, say, you know what? I'm not going to do that shit anymore. I'm putting that stuff aside. I've turned over a new leaf. I understand. I've seen the fucking writing on the wall, and now I'm going to change the way I'm going to live my life right now. They do not no one will accept that from you. They will accept it if you have PTSD coming back from combat. They will accept that if you lost your job or you got zeroed out. They will accept that, and usually that's because you offed yourself, right? Or they'll accept that you're a different individual now that you got a divorce or something traumatic happened to you. But if nothing traumatic has happened to you, they will not accept personal change because that means it's a force of will. You're exercising your own will, and they do not like that, especially your friends who who rely on you to be predictable. Beware of friends who rely on you for predictability in your behavior, because those are not your friends. People who are your friends are the people who will understand and sort of go through things with you. Most people won't do that. Even your close friends won't do that. They don't want to see it. A lot of people, I hate to say it, but a lot of, I think it's right to a certain degree, but a lot of people will say, well, people don't want to see you succeed. Okay, because it reminds them that they haven't succeeded or they have yet to get to where you're at. Even if it's just like you won the lottery and it was just complete sheer chance, right? There's kind of like that. I think it was it Robert Greene who always he's done interviews where they've said stuff he said stuff like, watch how your friends react when you get a promotion or you made a lot of money in a sales or you I don't know. However you suddenly had a turn of good fortune. Watch how your friends react to that. Watch how they want to talk about it. See how interested they are in your success. The ones who are interested in your success, those guys are your friends. The ones who aren't, or just kind of oh, that's nice, or they want to give you grief, or they want to try to tear you down so your head doesn't get too big. Those ones to watch out for. What is it? Never put too much trust in friends and learn how to use enemies. Usually it's easier to find out when people who have a really tough time with you changing who you are or altering your personality. Those are the guys to watch out for. It's crabs in a barrel, right? The crab doesn't want the other crab to get out of the barrel, pulls them back in. Well, the people who don't want you to change, those are the crabs. They're crabs, man. They're pulling you back in.